over, and from then on, all you hear about in New England is English occupation. You don't know anything about the native people who had lived there for 6 or 10,000 years.
Yeah.
So my job, and if you go to a website called SOWAMS, SOWAMS, heritagearea.org, SOWAMSheritagearea.org,
Okay.
you'll find a large website that will explain this whole history and how people in the United States who live right there don't know anything about this.
Really?
But it's what changed history.
Uh-huh.
If that war had been won by the native population, it's very likely that the English would have been driven back here to England, and New England never would have existed, and we would have ended up maybe French, maybe still Indian there, okay?
Yeah.
Hard to say. But that was one of the most important transformations in that period of time, 400 years ago, and we just celebrated the 400th anniversary of that first meeting over there. So there's a lot to learn, and hopefully your audience will pay attention to that. And not only will they learn about vaccinations in the Islamic,
learn about an aspect of history.
That's right. They'll learn a little bit about history. So that's wonderful.
David, can I just ask, the treaty you are talking about that was first originally signed, the treaty included, as you said, one party will not harm the other?
Correct.
And one will protect each other.
That's right.
So how did it lead to a war?
Well, that held for 50 years. The Massasoit, the chief, died in 1661.
Okay.
And the man Edward Winslow from the Pilgrims, who was instrumental in getting that agreement going, had left and returned to England in 1642, leaving his son Josiah to take over. So you have the sons of the two. They did not get along.
Okay. But was the treaty still in force?
Technically, yes, but there were so many violations.
Both sides?
On both sides.
Right.
Well, primarily on the English side.
Okay.
The English were not very good at keeping their word.
Does that still remain the status quo with the English today?
Well, there are not too many English people there. They're now American. We had a revolution, you remember?
Oh yes, of course you did. Yes, of course.
Right.
Did that change the spots of the leopard?
By then, you had native tribes fighting with the Americans against the English.
Yeah, true.
Okay, during the Revolutionary War.
But you know, David, the point I was making, and you are absolutely correct. I mean, these are aspects of history which people need to learn about.
Sure.
You are absolutely correct. However, you know, one of the things that we see, the treaties have evolved themselves. Yeah.
Well,
My view would be that, you know, any treaty should have fundamental clauses which clearly favor both parties.
Sure.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
you can read this treaty on the website.
Definitely, I'll have a look at it.
Very long.
So, but one of the things I have found is that, unfortunately, today you read, even if it's, and I'm not only talking about treaties of, say, for example, two parties, and the intention of maybe, you know, violating the treaties and going to war, etc. I'm talking about even trade treaties.
Right.
Yeah. You will find that the majority of them seem to weigh heavily on one party rather than the other.
Typically, right. That's all over the world.
Exactly.
Right.
It's all over the world. So there seems to be this tendency to want to allow that status quo to remain.
Right.
How we break that is vitally important.
Sure.
And one of the aspects that we can consider, as you rightly pointed out, is how history actually happened as opposed to how history had actually been told.
That's right. That's a very good point.
That's the distinction to be made.
Let's hit the red button there so I don't run out of space there. Thank you.
So thank you for that. I mean, we definitely will ask our viewers also to have a look at the website and perhaps, you know, start engaging in history the way history ought to have been.
Right.
like I said,
Yeah.
as opposed to how it has been written. In fact, I was just telling our brother here that the system, the education system that the United Kingdom had when colonization took place, the education system went along with it.
Yes.
Yeah, to countries that had never even heard of the United Kingdom. To the extent that right now you can ask people about Richard the Lionheart and they will know about him, but their very own history they won't be sure about.
That's right.
But I mean, look, it's not a blameworthy element.
We often say history is his story.
Exactly, his
it's
story.
Not our story.
Yeah, we need her story as well now.
Maybe we need a number of stories.
Yeah, but that is the truth of the matter. That once an education system has taken over, it takes years and years and years to try and reverse that. I mean, look, everybody knows that all the cowboys and Indian movies were always made to make the cowboys, the cowboys, the heroes, the natives, the savages.
Right. Yeah.
Far from the truth.
Far from the truth.
Far
right.
from the truth.
Yeah.
So there is so much that needs to be rewritten. Right. But what I'm not going to do is go to the extent where the whole of history is totally bypassed and a new history is rewritten.
That's right.
And that again is doing exactly what the previous guys did.
That's right.
Which is what you do not want to do. No. You want to keep it at a balance.
Well, and I think with the internet, it's easier for people to find the alternative version. Right.
Yeah, there is, but the difficulty there is to establish the veracity.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there is much. But look, it's a learning process, isn't it? Yeah? I mean, thankfully you have come and you've told us about this.
Yep.
Yeah, it is something that we can learn about. Good. And hopefully we can carry on. He's
speaking louder. So I came here to get a little bit, so I'm going to get a little bit more of them. But
not a problem at all. Thank you so much.
Very happy to speak to your audience. And,
likewise.
How does anyone find what you're putting up?
All Truth Revealed.
Okay.
One word.
I'll write that down. Is that on YouTube?
Yes,
YouTube.
You'll find us there.
I will look
without
for
the spaces,
And yours, brother?
All Truth Revealed.
What's yours?
All Truth Revealed.
All Truth Revealed, right, okay. All Truth Revealed, even that one, that's great.
I have a lot of stuff on YouTube, so...
yeah? By all...
This will be on YouTube.
Yeah, by all means.
You want me to take one of those?
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Excellent. It was a pleasure, David. Look after yourself.
Nice talking with you.
Likewise. Look after yourself.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you for the film.
There you are, brother. This one.
Listen to the question.
Amen. You see, my friend, we have grace, but our Muslim friends, they don't have grace. They say, I'm an ex-Muslim.
No, you should have stopped.
That's why I left. They would say,